Bronx talks. Bronx talks. Bronx talks. Bronx talks. Bronx but talks. News, interviews, hot takes. Bronx talks. Bronx talks. Bronx talks. All right. Welcome back, Bronx Talks. Last episode did great. A lot of you were into it. We have more Yankees news we're going to talk about today. But before we get into that, we got a special guest, my dad, and he's going to tell you a little story about the 1978 Yankees, the Boston Massacre, and then, we'll get into his thoughts on the current Yankees and the current way baseball is run. So, Dad, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Ed Cody. I'm Ryan's dad. One of the reasons he's such a diehard Yankee fan. Knows more about the Yankees now than I do. And Christian's one heck of a ball player. I did get a chance to see your podcast last week. You guys were fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. And I can't wait till you have a couple million people watching you on a regular basis.
Thank you.
With that said, I'm going to put my Yankee hat on here. And one quick note before we get started. You guys both at the end of the show last week thought that Correa was going to be the shortstop on opening day for the New York Yankees. I can tell you after what Correa said yesterday, that if Correa is the opening day shortstop for the New York Yankees, he'll be the first major free agent ever signed by the Yankees to get booed out of the stadium before he even takes his first at bat. You can't mess with Derek Jeter and say Derek Jeter should never have won all those gold gloves. I don't want Correa on the team. I don't like cheaters. I want no part of that guy. I want Seager. But that's not why you have me on. You have me on and go back all the way back in time to 1978. Now, Ryan, that is a long, long time before you were ever born. And not to date myself, but I was 10 years old. I was in the 5th grade at Tisdale School. Tisdale used to go all the way up to the 5th grade. I did grow up in Ramsey.
Yep.
I had Mr. Zitko as a teacher. I don't remember the morning. I don't remember the day. All I remember is when the game started, Mr. Zitko, who's a huge Yankee fan, rolled out a black and white TV and said, "This is our project for today. We're going to watch the beginning of the Yankee game." Now, to give you an idea about 1978, we didn't have video games. Atari first came out with like the worst video game when I was like in Smith School. All right. We didn't have cable TV yet. So all we had was 5 channels, 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, and 11. And Yankee games was like a huge event if it was on TV because only half the games were on TV. 81 games were on TV. The other 81 I used to have to listen to on the radio. I did not miss one game. And it was the most phenomenal season of all time. So to give you an idea, the Yankees were 14 and a half games back on July 19th. And everyone was like, got to give up on the Yankees. Yankees stink. Got to give up on the Yankees. Even my dad said, come on, the season's over. I'm like, nope, it's not over. They're going to come back. They'd won in 77. Like, they're going to come back. On July 23rd, Billy Martin quit. And they say the reason he quit was he really didn't get along with Reggie Jackson. The two of them almost got in a brawl earlier in the season. He thought Reggie was not really hustling after a ball in right field. And he embarrassed him by putting Paul Blair out right in the middle of an inning. To this day, I've never seen a player pulled out in the middle of an inning unless he was hurt. So he quits. They come climbing back. They're 6.5 games back now at the beginning of September, but they got 7 games left with the Red Sox. The Yankees take 6 of the 7. They actually take a 1-game lead with 1 game left to play. And I don't remember the exact score, but I know they got crushed. I think it was 9-2, 9-3. They got crushed by the Indians. The Red Sox won. We go to a flip of a coin, and now we're for a playoff, and we're in Fenway Park. I'm in school. Thank God my Mr. Zitko brought out the black and white TV. Back then, not everyone had a color TV. And if you did, a big TV was like 19 inches. The Yastrzemski hits a homer in like the 2nd inning, and then they had another run. So they're down 2-0 while I'm at school. Now, these are the Yankees I grew up with, right? Mickey Rivers was batting first. Thurman Munson, the captain, batting second. Lou Piniella, who used to live in Allendale, he's got a sandwich named after him, DAB&G, batting third. Reggie batting fourth. My favorite player, Greg Nettles, number 9, batting fifth. What?
No, I was just saying Greg Nettles.
Yeah, Nettles, my boy. And then Chambliss, Roy White, who lived up in Franklin Lakes. And then Brian Doyle was in for Willie Randolph and Bucky Dent, which we'll get to in a little bit. So it's Ron Guidry, who was 25-3, one of the greatest seasons by any pitcher ever. The guy would have been a Hall of Famer, except he hurt his arm. 25-3, 1.74 ERA. Earlier that June, he had set the Yankee record with the 18 strikeouts. And to this day, when 2 strikes happen and you hear the clapping, it all started in that June 18th game in 1978 when Guidry was going for the record for the strikeouts. 2-0. Somehow, I don't remember I don't remember who took me home from school, how I got home. But I get home, my dad's watching the game. We're still down 2-0. We get to the third. We got a couple runners on. Bucky Dent fouls the ball off, cracks his bat. To this day, there's stories whether the thing was corked or whatever. There's a lot of rumors going around. But Bucky Dent goes back towards the dugout. The bat boy hands him a bat. And then Mickey Rivers comes out of the dugout and takes the bat away from Bucky Dent and hands him a new bat. Subsequently goes up. Torres is still pitching in the 7th inning because back then pitchers went 9 innings if they could. You didn't have pitchers going 5 innings, they get pulled. You didn't have a reliever coming in every second. He goes yard, 3-run homer. Bill White, I remember, was announcing it. Bill White, longtime Yankee announcer, goes, "It's over, it's gone," something to that effect. I go crazy. My dad goes crazy. Dead silence in Fenway Park. I mean, you could have heard a pin drop. Dead freaking silence. Mickey Rivers, I think, got a single and then stole a base, something they don't do anymore, steal bases. They scratched another run. They're up 4-2 in the 7th. They scratched another run at the top of the 8th. I don't remember how. It was 5-2 going to the bottom of the 8th. Goose Gossage, who would come in the 7th. Goose used to come in for 7, 8, 9, 3-inning saves all the time. Goose gives up 2 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning. So now it's 5-4. I mean, you want to talk? I'm 10 years old. I can't. I'm marching around the house. I can't. I'm so stressed out. To this day, I still get panicky when I watch highlights of the game. I think it was a runner gets on, and then Jerry Remy, who had killed us earlier in the game with a couple doubles, he gets a base hit. Rice crushes the ball to right field, but it doesn't go out. I think it was Burleson. I'm not positive, but whoever was at second base goes to third. So now you got first and third, 2 out. I can't watch it. I go, Dad, I can't watch it. I'm going to go in my room. I'm going to be in the other room. I'm going all the way down the other end of the house. Just tell me what happens. And he's facing Yastrzemski, the same guy that homered in the 2nd inning. Also, just to know, there are 5 Hall of Famers in this game. So you had Jim Rice, Carlton Fisk, Yastrzemski, Reggie Jackson, and Goose Gossage. 5 Hall of Famers in this one game, not to mention some great players. The Red Sox had Fred Lynn playing center field. He'd have been a Hall of Famer if he didn't get hurt. First and third, Goose Gossage on the mound. I can't watch. Goose throws him a fastball. He says, subsequently, he's like, if I'm going to lose this game, I'm going to lose it to my best pitch. Throws Yastrzemski a fastball. He pops it up to third. Nettles pops underneath it. Yankees win. And that was as big a win in my life. That was the biggest win of my life. That was bigger than the 77 World Series. And it was bigger than when they went on to win the World Series in 78. That game I remember vividly. And just one of the greatest games of all time. And, up until recently when the Red Sox finally started winning, you just throw that game at them all the time. And they hate Bucky Dent. They hate Bucky Dent. But it made Bucky Dent's career. A guy made a lot of money off that one home run.
Certainly. That was a very great story, nicknamed as today as the Boston Massacre. Yankees were 14 and a half games back, and they were able to climb all the way back and went on to beat the Red Sox. Excellent story, Dad. Before we let you go, we'll have you talk about one more thing. And honestly, I'm going to let you take it away. What is your current thoughts on not just the Yankees and how the Yankees are run, but baseball as a whole and the direction it's going. If you want to talk a little bit.
Absolutely. The game has completely changed from when I was younger. Used to have hit and runs, used to have people stealing bases, used to have sacrifice bunts, suicide squeeze. The players used to put the ball in play. I give you a comparison. There was a player, last year in the big leagues, I think he still hit 30-something home runs. He played for like 9 or 10 teams, including the cup of tea with the Yankees towards the end of his career. His name was Dave Kingman. You probably heard of him. He hit 444 career home runs. But and he actually hit, get this, his lifetime batting average, which at the time was considered horrible, was 236. So here's a guy who hit basically 30 to 40 home runs every single year and hit 236. But he struck out over 100-something times. And back in the day, no one wanted guys that struck out all the time. Now, all of a sudden, these analytic guys come in, and they say it's okay that a guy like Gallo could hit 199 and strike out 150 times because he walks a lot. And the game has just changed. You watch a ball game, and all the counts go deep, and either they strike out or they hit a long ball, or maybe they get a walk. The ball's not in play, and it's very frustrating the way analytics has taken the game over. Ryan, as you know, I met Gene Michael on numerous occasions, 6 times,
Yep.
right? And he's the guy that built the Yankee dynasty, those 96 teams. He built them. And he told me on more than one occasion, Yankees have to be built on left-handed hitting and left-handed pitching. Now, analytics came along, and all of a sudden, Brian Cashman decided, well, with the shift, it doesn't really pay to have left-handed hitters because with the shift, they take the singles and doubles away. Mm-hmm. So he goes into last season with an entirely right-handed lineup. Then what happens? At the trading deadline, he's got to go get lefty hitting. Uh-huh. And then after the season, what does he say? We got to put the ball in play more. Analytics has taken over the game to the point it doesn't even make sense. The Yankees only had the same lineup back to back once all last season. I mean, it used to be your one hitter was your one hitter. Your 3-hitter was your 3-hitter. Your 4-hitter was your 4-hitter. We need to go back the other direction a little bit. Uh-huh. I just don't believe in all these analytics. I think the Mets actually might hire Buck Showalter. I think it'd be a great hire. I'm a little bummed that the Yankees are bringing Boone back. Not that I don't like Boone. It's just that I don't think Boone makes the lineup.
Yeah.
It's not as fun a game for you to watch. If you guys remember like around the All-Star break and all the Yankees got COVID. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Remember we had all those young guys up?
Yep.
What did Cashman start doing? They were stealing bases, hit and run. We even had a suicide squeeze. It was fun to watch.
Yep.
I want to see the ball put in play. I don't want to see you were saying on the last podcast, Ryan, that Odor is your favorite Yankee. Was that did I hear that correctly? Okay.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites.
You and I have had a conversation before. If Odor would swing level, that guy would hit 280 to 290. No questions asked. It probably still hit 10, 12 homers. But all he does is uppercut. And he's a little guy. He just uppercuts. So maybe now he'll hit 20, 25 home runs, but he's going to hit like 220. I don't want 220 guys in my lineup. I mean, amazingly, like I say, look up Dave Kingman. Dave Kingman couldn't stay on one team in the 70s and the 80s, but today he'd be like a perfect player and because of analytics. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I totally agree. I like the line that you had. You know, it's getting to the point where it doesn't even make sense. And analytics have been proven to work for certain teams. You know, like the A's and the Rays, because they don't have big payrolls, and that's really their only formula to win. They don't really have any other choice. But I really like to the point where it's not making any sense because, especially we saw it in the wild card game and stuff like that. You tried to find a reason why it made sense, and we don't have the numbers in front of us, but to the average fan and stuff, it just didn't make any sense why Rizzo was batting first, or we had Odor pitch hitting for Velasquez when Velasquez had only had one at bat, and and he one pitch, and he was one pitch he got out, and then he didn't even get a second at bat when there's no runners on to lead off an inning, and Odor's batting, and Odor, it makes sense to pitch hit him there with runners on to hit a home run. So, and I think a lot of teams are just really trying to outsmart each other. You saw it in the playoffs with the Rays and the Yankees. And
well, you saw it, not to interrupt you, but you saw it in the playoffs, not this past season, the season before.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, when we started.
Evie Garcia and the Jay Happen, it backfired. Yeah. And you're seeing just the lack of common sense and the lack of trusting a pitcher or something like that really hurt teams. We saw with Kevin Cash in the World Series. So I think teams need to take a step back and, say, obviously the analytics work, but we gotta make sure we're not relying on them every time, because it will kill you eventually, because numbers say they're going to be right all the time, but the reality is they're not, because numbers don't play baseball, the humans do. So
exactly. And you can't tell me that you put a manager in the dugout that's with this team. They play 162 games. He's with them since February through the end of September, almost every single day. You tell me that the manager doesn't, when he has a gut feeling, he can't go after it and trust the gut feeling. You tell me he doesn't know a little bit more about what's going on with that team or that hitter or that pitcher than the guy sitting behind his computer.
Well, it's definitely and you already see teams like the White Sox. They're trying to go in a different direction. You definitely see it start to change. And I think it will continue to change. I mean, that's always what baseball has done. So, and we'll see how it goes in the future. But that was a great story, Dad. You had a great discussion on the analytics and baseball today, and that's what we needed you for.
All right, well, I tip my cap to you guys. Keep up the good work. I'm a big fan of the show, and I'm going to be tuning in every week.
Love it. All right, Dad.
All right, so good luck to you guys. Be good.
Thanks for coming on here.
Thanks for having me. Thank you so much, guys.
Awesome story.
All right, be good, guys.
See ya. All right, guys. That was my dad. Had some great stuff, Christian. What did you think?
Yeah, I haven't talked much, kind of letting you and your dad do it. Couldn't agree more with what he said. I think he made so many good points. And I know he briefly talks about it. We could start off talking about the Correa Jeter if you want to, or we talk about it later. But, what do you want to do?
Hold on. Look at the notes. I think we should get into Correa later in the show. But I guess we'll start it off now with the Luis Rojas news. Luis Rojas got hired to the Yankees as the third base coach and also the outfield coach. So what are your thoughts on the hire first off?
Originally I wasn't a fan and I always loved the idea of stealing players, especially from like our rival teams and coaches, but he was fired from the Mets. So that means the Mets didn't think he was good. So I don't love the idea of like taking the Mets garbage. But at the end of the day, he's good enough to get the manager job in the first place. He probably knows a decent bit about baseball, and it's the third base coach. So you can't overthink it too much. That's
Yeah, definitely. I mean, at the end of the day, he's not really going to be the majority or if any impact on why this team loses. I mean, obviously last year with Nevin, but yeah, I mean, he certainly has to be better than Nevin. I mean, everyone raves about him in the baseball world, like between managers, people with front office jobs. They really like him. And maybe he can help bring something to the team. Obviously not a great 2 seasons with the Mets, but we'll see how he does here with the Yankees. I kind of agree. I don't really like it. I feel like you could get someone better. Like you said, he's the Mets garbage. I mean, the Mets were the first team to be in be in first place for 100 days
Yeah.
and missed the playoffs and finished third. No other team has done that. They didn't even finish second. And albeit the Braves went on to win the World Series, and with that happening, I'm not going to say the NL East was the worst division in baseball. But
Yeah.
what I will say, regardless, the Braves won 88 games and you finished in third. So, and Rojas you have to be blamed for that. So that's part of the reason he was fired. But he's getting another shot with the Yanks. Just has to jump over towns a bit, from Queens to the Bronx. And we turned him to the dark side of the force, and now he's like on the dark side, and hopefully he's gonna win us a ring. Rojas to the Bronx.
Yes.
That's all there really is.
Gonna be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what he does with Stanton. If they make up their own thing.
He's the outfield coach. Yeah, with the Phil Nevin handoff.
Yeah.
Interesting to see. Maybe this time Stanton gives the handoff to Rojas, and Rojas just runs reverse.
Or he just finishes the jog for Stanton.
Yeah.
You never know.
We'll certainly see. Rojas to the Bronx, and
you had some Freddie Freeman rumors you wanted to talk about.
Yes, we'll dive into Frederick Freeman for a bit. Freddie obviously was with Atlanta. He's been there for a long time now. He's the staple. He's the face of the franchise. He's been there for quite a while. But I honestly don't see him going anywhere else than Atlanta. I know he declined an extension, but yeah, I think he wants to get paid. I mean, he delivered the team a World Series, and in his mind, he wants to be rewarded for that. I think the Yankees are just kicking the tires, just seeing, oh well, maybe we are the Yankees, so maybe he wants to come there. I don't really see him going anywhere, but if somehow, some way, there is a world that he does want to come here, he would be scary. Like if you're any other team, you get and then you bring Freddie Freeman to the short porch in Yankee Stadium. You slot him in middle of Judge and Stanton. Woohoo! That's really scary. Like I'm just thinking right now, that's scary.
And Freddie Freeman, he's like a real hitter.
I'm talking to you, Chris Sale. This happens, they're gonna get scared because we're gonna tee off you this year, Chris Sale.
I think Freddie Freeman reminds me like a better Rizzo almost, because they kind of have the same approach. They'll go the other way. They'll shoot up on 2 strikes. And just Freddie does it a little better. So
yeah, that's all really on Freddie Freeman. Just want to let you guys know that the Yankees have reached out. Now let's get into the big stuff. Correa and Jeter. My dad said we both wanted Correa. I wanted Correa. You wanted Seager. Just to classify that. As of now, I'm a Seager guy all the way. I would just like to steal the stage here, Trashy, if you don't mind. But Correa, I didn't like the guy, never liked the guy. I wanted him to come to Yankees. I mean, like I said, the other podcast, Yankees have hired guys who killed them. And, I feel like, all right, you join the Yankees, don the pinstripes, and you help us win us a ring, then I'm not going to hate you. I'll forgive you for it. So in that sense, I was excited. I felt like he was a villain. Everyone in baseball hates him. He come to the Yanks. We already think of ourselves Yankee fans as villains. So we are not the good guys in baseball. And, would be nice to see that. But honestly, what he said about Derek Jeter really just threw the whole thing off me. And I said on the TikTok the other day, but Derek Jeter won 5 Gold Gloves. And because of the advanced stats nowadays, the analytics, they say he's not a good defensive shortstop, which I laugh at because, if you win 5 Gold Gloves, you must have been doing something right. I mean, if it was maybe 1, 2, maybe, all right, maybe you could say, yeah, you didn't deserve them. But if you won 5 of them, I mean, come on. That's just not a valid argument at all. He won 5 Gold Gloves, playing one of the hardest positions on the baseball diamond. And, Carlos Correa, if you're probably not watching this, and you probably never will. But if you are watching this, Carlos Correa, I want to say something to you and you only. if you're saying Derek Jeter didn't deserve any of the Gold Gloves he won, then you don't deserve your World Series ring that you cheated with the Houston Astros in 2017 and ripped my heart out, and not just mine, every Yankee fan across the world. And you messed with the Dodgers, and you cheated us out of a chance of winning a World Series. So you cheated. So you don't deserve your ring. You don't deserve it. You don't deserve it. You do not deserve that World Series ring that you won. Carlos Correa, you're a hypocrite, you're a fraud, and you will never be half as good the legend Derek Jeter was.
Well said. No, I'm just going to add on to that a little bit. I don't understand why people can really debate it. He won it fair and square. He was voted by the baseball writers as a Gold Glove winner. He didn't cheat his way to it. He didn't cheat his way to a World Series. No, he won it fair and square. So I don't really understand how you can go back in time and say he didn't deserve it. He did deserve it. He won it.
Yeah.
Not really a debate.
Carlos Correa,
you
cheated. You cheated. And Derek Jeter played the game the right way all the time. He back then in the 90s when everyone was on steroids, and Derek Jeter was like one of the only guys who didn't do steroids. He played the game the right way. You can watch him in interviews, and even so this day, he's the utmost humblest guy. It's all about the team first. It's all about winning. And Carlos Correa, you're a fraud. You're obnoxious. You're not humble by any means. You're a fraud and you're a cheater. So you don't deserve your World Series ring, and you don't deserve any of the success you have in your career. And you will never be half as good as Derek Jeter. And Carlos Correa, I would rather beat you than win with you. Hashtag Secret of the Bronx.
That's it right there. You nailed it.
Yeah. Fraud Correa.
That's Correa and Seager. Obviously, look, if Correa goes to the Yankees, and I don't think like Cashman, he's not going to take this into account in his decision. He won't, but because it's really about the player and not about what he says and his opinions and stuff. But I, even unbiased without that, I think he'll still go to the Tigers. That's Correa and Derek Jeter. Let's do some Verlander talk. There's a little more.
Wait, how much are we on the time limit for today?
I think we just keep rolling.
All right.
I'm pretty sure it'll automatically stop and we'll start a Zoom. We don't have to worry about it right now. Let's keep it rolling. Verlander update.
Verlander updates. Let me pull up some news right now that I have saved on my phone. Check us out on Instagram. A little plug. If you want more Yankees news every day, pretty much. Whenever the Yankees drop the slightest bit of news, we are here to report it. But yeah,
Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, we're on all of it.
Yankees offered Verlander last week a 1-year, $10 million deal. I'm pretty sure he declined. The offer might still be on the table, but I'm assuming he withdrew. It might have been 2 years. Apparently, it was 1. And if you're Correa, Verlander, you're probably like, no, I could just get $8 million more from Houston. And, although he said Verlander he wants to play for an East Coast team. He does not want to go to like LA or like Angels or Dodgers. So that rules that out pretty much. And he wants to go to a team that trains in Florida. Spring training, he means.
Yankees.
Just where the Yankees play, Christian. Where they play? Spring training.
Play in Florida in spring training. I think. Florida. So seems
there
like
in
the Yankees
Tampa.
are perfect fit. That's what everyone's saying.
Yeah, I think it would be. You just got to make sure you get the right deal. But Blue Jays, Red Sox are interested. I wouldn't be surprised if the Mets came in there. But if you're the Yankees, if you want this guy, you got to get him now because you got the Rule 5 draft coming up. And you want to get this guy. And the decision could be made like sometime this week, which is interesting. But if you're the Yankees, got to get this guy now. And if you want him, and Verlander of the Bronx is gonna wear one of these. Look at.
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah. And Verlander is gonna retire soon. I think Brian Hawk said this on John Boy's podcast the other day, talking Yanks. He said, every baseball player usually, before they want to retire their career hanging up, they want to say they don the pinstripes. You see it a lot. Jay Bruce, Andrew McCutchen, Troy Tulowitzki, just a few in the last recent years. Yeah. Everyone wants to say that when it's all said and done, they played for the greatest sports team of all time. And, I think Verlander, the caliber of player he is, the winner he is, he wants to say he donned those pinstripes. And who doesn't want to see him just go,
No, that's just the type of guy. Friday night, he would be electric under the lights. He's the guy I want to see. It's everything good with the camera?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All right. That was the Justin Verlander news. This could even happen tonight. You could see Verlander the Bronx right now.
It's possible.
We'll talk Corey Seager for a bit, and then we'll get into the fun stuff, I guess. Corey Seager, Yankees and the Dodgers are going to be competing for him. The two baseball powerhouses are looking like it could come down to both of them. And probably a deal is probably going to happen before the lockout December 1st when the CBA runs out. So, if you're Seager and Correa, a deal is likely going to happen then. And I think Seager signs next week to the Yanks because the Yanks got to figure this out. They got to get it done quick. Other teams are competing with them. And, if the Yankees are serious about winning this year, they cannot continue to let teams outbid them for players. They just got to say no. He's our player. And we get Seager, Verlander, and we'll just be dandy. We'll be happy. It's not saying it stops there, though. Not saying.
I think I already told you. I'll tell the podcast. Seager's getting signed at 11 o'clock on Friday.
This
week?
Really
really cold take. I know it for a fact. So just letting you guys know that. And most Yankee fans, I would hope that we're on the Seager train now, and we left.
He would just be lethal, especially if you fit LeMahieu. You could drop LeMahieu or Seager the leadoff spot.
Yeah,
you drop LeMahieu and Seager in the leadoff spot, and then you drop the other in the fifth. So then you have, it's just like boom, boom, boom.
Have a lefty at the top of the lineup because, Rizzo, he's not made to be at the top. He's not that fast.
Matt, speaking of Rizzo, I'm wearing his jersey. Yeah. Can you guys see that? Can you see it?
Love it. We can see it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
48.
Rizzo's one of my guys, if you haven't known. I am a Rizzo fan. I'm a Rizzo guy. But I would throw that all away if Matt Olson comes today. Matt Olson to the Bronx, which is what I want to say. Jack Curry, everyone thought some people thought the deal was extremely close.
Yep.
But it looks like the Yankees have checked in on Matt Olson, but they have not come to terms with a good, a trade. They're not close yet. That's what Jack Curry reported yesterday, that the Yankees and the A's are not close yet, but Yankees are highly interested and have checked in on the A's. And I think they got to get this done. They got to get this done, and they can't. Whatever they do, they cannot lose to the Red Sox, and that would not be good. But then, the Red Sox, either way, we get Olsen, they're like, all right, we'll sign Rizzo. And Rizzo, I'm telling you, don't go to the Red Sox now. Don't do that. Do not do that. I'll have you play third, do a little Don Mattingly, then go to the Red Sox.
We'll do it.
Not doing that.
We'll do it.
We'll do it. That's what you want. Want to play a little third?
That is the Rizzo / Olsen / Seager news. Should we head into the fun part of the show?
Yes. Hold on. Let me pull that up here in my notes.
I have it for you. So
rumors, trades. All right. So
sleeper picks. Yes.
You already got into the rumors, and so I guess you just have sleeper picks in the truth. So
unless you wanted, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Well, let me just explain. Sleeper picks are the guys that basically hot takes, guys on the Yankees roster that will be back next year that we think will just have phenomenal years. Not in a sense hot takes where it's just like almost a craziness.
No.
But just like basically who we
like
think
the hard opinion what's gonna happen. So
definitely. You trading Voit? You trading him?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Don't even have to think.
And for the trades, we thought we spice it up. We have crazy, unlikely trades that we could see not happening, but they make sense in a way. Not like, a bum for Mike Trout. Like logical trades that are like really crazy would probably never happen, but just gets you to open your eyes a bit. I certainly have a couple of them.
I don't, but I'll start thinking about it.
Let's get into the sleeper picks first. Let me think. I'll go first, I guess. Hold on. One of my sleep picks. Oh, one of my guys. Now, Yankees fans might get mad at me for this. Domingo Germán.
Wow.
He is going to establish himself this year. He is going to establish himself this year into a definite starter, not the reliever, starter, hybrid. He's going to establish himself as like a 4 or a 5 in the rotation. Maybe not the Yankees rotation, but he's going to establish himself as a starter. He's always had great stuff. He just never really put it all together. I mean, we saw in Boston was throwing that no-hitter. He won. People really forget this. In 2019, he won 18 games. The Yankees had a stacked team. He won 18 games. That's nearly a 20-game winner for Domingo Germán. And Domingo Germán also had another no-hitter a few years back against Cleveland. The Indians, not the Guardians, the Indians.
Good take.
Yeah. But he had a no-hitter going the 8th, man, and then my favorite player, Dell Betances, blew it for him. But I think he's going to really establish himself as a starter this year, and just be like maybe you're just going to be like when he starts the game, you're like, all right, what we're getting. He's not going to suck. But
that was a good one. I have one.
All right.
In this, I'll just say it. You mentioned him. You had him winning MVP, Jordan Montgomery.
Yeah, one of my hot takes.
On a more serious note, I really see this guy having an elite season. I'm saying, I don't know if I could say sub 3, but I'm saying like the 3 to 3.5 ERA range. He gets better and better every season. And I mean, he's got CC Sabathia type pitcherish. I mean, he's great at getting out of jams. He's not the guy who's going to give you 8 shutout innings, but always 6 innings. I don't know, 1, 2, 3 runs, a quality start.
Something, you don't mind me barging in here, but something that I really like to hit with him, he pitches to a lot of soft contact. A lot of slow ground balls, and sometimes too much soft contact where it actually hurts us. We saw that in Boston. They had like 6 infield hits. I mean, stop. Hashtag cancel the Red Sox. Hashtag Corey, you're a fraud. I guess we'll give 2 more guys each. What do you think?
2 more. All right. Yeah, sure. You want to go? I already have another one. You want me to go?
No, I'll go. I don't want to say. I thought about saying Urshela, but I don't know if he'll even be on the team.
That crossed my mind, but
I don't want to say Gallo because I don't like him. Okay. I don't like this guy that much. Aaron Hicks. Oh, wow. He might not even be on the team, and I hope he's not on the team. I hope we go out and get Marte. But let's see, we do keep Aaron Hicks. Listen, he hasn't been the same player in a while now. His contract's atrocious, but he's, in my mind, I told this to Christian before, he's a lottery ticket. Because why? He's a switch hitter. Yankees need switch hitting. He's fast. And Yankees need someone who's fast. And plays good defense. I'm not, last year he was pretty bad defensively. It was 30 games. He's coming off an injury. So I'm not going to get on his case. I'm going to give him a pass there. But if he can put all of his tools, all of his talent together, he could really help the Yankees in that way. And I think that could be a reason why the Yankees hold on to him for those reasons. Switch hitter, and he's fast. And the Yankees could definitely use that. So I'm not saying he'll have a great year, but I'm saying watch out. He can prove some of you guys wrong. He's Aaron Hicks, and he hits them with the sticks.
That's a good pick. I have one second baseman, Gleyber Torres. I think he's going to be back at his home position, second base.
Yep, my position.
Mine too.
Yeah.
I think he hits over 300 this year. I don't see the power coming back like 2018, but I do think he's going to become that really consistent hitter, just poking, blooping balls, getting on base. So he's my pick to have a really good 2022.
And we see him working in the cage with Bosh. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, one more each.
I'm probably going to go with a minor leaguer for my last one because I don't really have another guy that unless you want to do like a Guardy or something.
I think we could trade. I think we might trade him, but we're probably, it's the 2021 Yankees roster. Like as of now, our roster is the 2021 Yankee roster. So we really don't know who's coming back, if we're being honest with ourselves.
Yeah.
But this was one of my guys. He's one of my boys. Still is. Miguel Andujar. I met the guy. Talked some hitting with him. We'll tell you that story maybe on another episode. But, Miggy. And Miggy in 2018, I think he broke like the rookie doubles record or the rookie Yankees double record. But he was a very, very excellent hitter. And everyone thought he was the third baseman of the future, because we signed Brandon Drury and Andujar just just shined. And Drury was like, all right, see you guys. I'll get traded to Toronto for J Hat. And now Drury stinks. But, thank God. And now Andujar is just kind of like in purgatory. He doesn't really know like where he is as a player. He's kind of just stuck in AAA. You ask me, Miguel Andujar is not a AAA player. I mean, I know defensively in the outfield and at third base, you can't really hit. I mean, not hit, can't really field.
Yeah.
But I mean, the guy's not a minor league hitter. And he even went his stretch to the Yankees last year where he was doing good. I think the chase rate, especially the Yankees with him, expanding the zone a lot. I think and the Yankees hate that, like as you see. But I think that's probably the reason they can't really find him at rest spot. But I think Miguel Andujar gets an opportunity this year. Due to an injury. I think he could really capitalize on it.
Yeah.
Miguel Andujar.
My guy I don't really know what's the deal with him. I don't know what's his injury. I don't know if he's going to be traded. I don't know if he's going to be in the big leagues. But Steven Ridings is my guy who's going to have a ridiculous 2022.
Wow.
I mean, they
got to protect him in the Rule 5.
Yes. We don't want to see another Garrett Whitlock thing or something. But when he first pitched, I remember, against the Orioles, it was amazing. I mean, his stuff looked dominant. Throwing 100 easy. The curveball was ridiculous. He was just spiking it and people were swinging. The Orioles actually don't have that bad of a lineup. I think Steven Ridings, he could just have an insane year. His stuff is amazing. The command, he's got to figure it out a little bit. But, that's my last sleeper. All right, holding on the podcast.
Yeah, I just got to. Oh, right. It's all bright now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, this daylight savings for you. Hashtag cancel daylight savings. We want to cancel everything now. Anyway, yeah. Should we get right into the crazy unlikely trade? I'm going to start it off. Epic one. Mind blown. Now, like we said, these are crazy unlikely trades that 99.99999% are never going to happen. But they actually make a little sense if you really think about it. Here's my trade. The Yankees trade Giancarlo Stanton, Jason Dominguez, Anthony Volpe for Bryce Harper, Didi Gregorius.
Wow. That's like a mic drop moment right there. Pretty epic.
Now, I think the Phillies, Bryce Harper's their guy. And you're getting Didi too. And that's like a totally win now trade. Like, it doesn't, and trade would most likely never ever happen. But Didi, lefty bat, taking over at short. And then you get the demon, Bryce Harper, to the Yankees.
Shave his beard.
And the short porch in Yankee Stadium, and he's going to win NL MVP this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good start. I was supposed to be thinking of my trade, but I was thinking of what we were doing. So, all right, got someone I want.
Come on. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Hey, I want Jacob deGrom. Let's figure out how we're going to do this.
It's going to be tough.
It should be really tough, but I think it'll give Mets fans a little, it'll annoy them. So let's do it. Jacob deGrom. He is, he's basically the Mets. He's all the Mets have. So I don't know.
They're you gotta hate the Mets. I mean, they're just
yeah. So we're taking away their one player who's their entire team. I don't know. You throwing Volpe, give him Dominguez, give him some other guys. I don't care. Let me get deGrom. What do you think of that?
Yeah. I mean, especially him being a Met would just make things 10 times harder. I think if he wasn't a Met, and the Mets are already in win now kind of mode, like they're not rebuilding.
Yeah.
So,
which is funny. Yeah.
It is funny. Really funny. All right, I got to think of my next trade. That one, okay. I'm going to give you a C- if I'm being honest on that.
No, I'll accept a C-, 100%. You put me on the spot here, even though we planned this yesterday. I didn't think about it till now.
Well, what'd you give mine?
An A. Probably an A.
Nice.
It's pretty good.
Nice.
4 GPA.
Nice. Hold on. Give me a second.
I'm thinking
here. Give me a second here. I gotta think. All right, I have one. Going down to the Bay, and not the San Fran Bay. The Bay. You know what city I'm talking about?
No, the audio cut out right as you were talking.
The Bay in Maryland. Do you know what city?
Boston.
No, what?
I'm kidding.
Boston. Oh, you just embarrassed yourself here. Boston's not in Maryland.
This isn't.
Boston's
I got this part out. Continue.
No, we're keeping it.
All right,
Massachusetts.
let's go.
That's
Continue.
embarrassing.
Yeah, that's
Anyway, going over to Baltimore. Yeah, I can't believe you messed that up. You're keeping that in here.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna cut that out. That was pretty embarrassing. Yeah. Okay.
No, come on. Gets everyone excited. No one's
All
gonna
right. Yeah.
watch.
Sure.
Baltimore.
And stuff.
Cedric Mullins. The Orioles. The Orioles are in a rebuild. Cedric Mullins would be a great fit in the Bombers. Batted like 300. I think he hit like 30 homers. Could be wrong on that, but excellent glove. It's going to take. You're going to have to trade Dominguez, most likely.
Yeah.
You trade Dominguez, Volpe, and Austin Wells. Or you can throw in Peraza. Now, this would be very hard because it would set back the Orioles rebuild even more because Dominguez just frankly isn't ready. So, and it's in division trade. So it's even more likely you'd have to pay even more. But yeah, I mean, that's mine.
What's your one? What's good?
Last one for you. Like last one.
And they're good. And I think I'm gonna try and trade with Boston.
No, let's not do that. Next.
It's kind of fun trading with the rivals.
No, not really.
Yeah, it is.
No.
All right.
Also, going back to my Stanton thing,
Yeah.
I remembered he has a no trade clause. So you'd have to find a way for him to clear that for that trade to go through.
Sure.
But yeah. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he wants to go to Phillies now. He probably would decline it, but I don't know if Harper has one either.
All right. I have an idea. So 2019, you had Bellinger and Yelich, and they were like the faces of baseball.
Oh, we're bringing
Well, listen, both lefties, it's just a race for NL. They're both superstars. Then they sucked. And Bellinger, he's had like some cool postseason stuff. But this year, they were both horrendous. Bellinger more so. But they both sucked. I think we trade with both of them, get both of them, put them on the corners in the outfield, and have a little reunion. And
both of them.
Yeah, both of them. And it would be pretty cool if they
first of all,
get back to their peak self.
I don't like those. They're both getting paid a lot of money. They both suck. So I'm gonna give you an F there.
No, I don't really want an F.
I'm giving you an F because they're both getting paid a ton and they both suck. So it's just kind of like doesn't make sense. Yeah.
All right.
Maybe one of them. All right. Anyway, those are crazy, unlikely trades for you. Yeah. And that's really it. I think that's going to do it today. Let me check Twitter, see if there's, any breaking news.
Yeah.
LeBron James to the Bronx. You never know. You never know. LeBron's always jumping around teams. Yeah. Yeah. I'm giving it a quick stroll. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, too. Obviously, you need to follow us because we need followers. We're trying to grow this channel.
Once we get to 5 million subscribers, we get to drop out of school. So, as I said last time, an incentive for you guys to subscribe. Drop a sub. Leave a like. Don't leave a like.
Yeah.
We're not
all right.
Talk about a soft.
That
could have got the video taken. Yeah. So go ahead and do that.
Is gonna do it
You can give your
for next episode on Bronx Talks. I hope this one was one of your favorites. Definitely did a ton of fun stuff today. We actually are going to announce our next guest on the podcast. Just kidding. You're going to have to wait and see. But next episode, we should have a guest. Should be around Saturday. I'm going to close this out, Trashy, if you're ready.
can I get the fans a little excited first?
Yeah, okay.
Not Yankee fans. Bronx Talks fans. Only you guys. So we've been talking.
Also, you have to be a Yankee fan to be subscribed. Otherwise, I'm assaulting you.
We've already blocked a few people. Yeah. I just lost my train. All right, here we go. We're pretty well-known guys in the Yankee community. We have our sources. We have our guys. And one of our good friends, he's a pretty successful YouTuber. Does a lot of Yankee stuff. And we're not going to give away the name yet because we want to keep it a surprise. But we got him coming on in the next week or so. So look out for that. It's going to be pretty awesome. And I bet you guys know him.
Yeah, I think we went over the time limit. So, Christian, you're going to have a long night editing. So that's fun for you. It's really fun for you. I'm going to do nothing. What?
I might just not do it. This might even not go on YouTube. I'm just kidding. Do the outro.
All right. As always, Bronx Talk. Keep talking. I'm Ryan Cody. He's Christian Badenhausen. My dad is still in the Zoom. We are out. Bronx Talks. Keep